Hello, I am Rosemary. I'm the CTO of CommonAI Compute.
Hello, I'm Felicity. I write about science and technology. We're here to talk about AI infrastructure and the challenges of growing an AI company today. So what would you say is the biggest challenge for an AI researcher starting a company, growing a company, or developing an idea?
So infrastructure in AI is a huge challenge at the moment. There are a lot of organisations wanting to leverage AI, but building the compute infrastructure and the tooling infrastructure that you need to be successful comes with a lot of challenges. So AI workloads are often very bursty in nature. You want a lot of compute for a short amount of time, and that means that you need to use public cloud, you need to use on-demand computing. But that comes with challenges in itself. So each cloud is slightly different. You will need to hire engineers who are familiar with that cloud in order to get set up in that environment, to make sure that your use of compute is constrained with budgets, making sure that you've locked down your security environment effectively, and then that means you are committed to using that particular vendor, which doesn't necessarily give you the best capability, capacity, or price. So ideally, you want to be able to move between cloud vendors and get the best price and the best technology for your needs. But that can often mean actually hiring a separate IT department for every cloud that you want to use, which is just not possible. Yeah.
So it might be that you end up spending a lot of time and money setting up one, but then it turns out your needs are slightly different and you have to start again on another cloud.
Exactly, and then you pay for that migration again. So setting up the infrastructure that you need, choosing a cloud, developing what you need with that vendor, and then setting up the tooling on top of that is expensive as well. Right. A lot of the tools are very good, but they're open source, and so you have to support those tools in-house. So staffing that support is another challenge as well.
Well, staff, I'm assuming, is a challenge full stop. It sounds like you need a lot of experts for lots of different things here. Is that a challenge, finding the right people?
Oh, absolutely. I think in technology in general, we have a skills shortage, but very much in AI infrastructure, we have a skills shortage. Most people have only been doing this for a few years, so it's very difficult to find someone who isn't new to the field. And then developing AI infrastructure that not only works well for your particular needs, but also scales well as the company grows. That's another challenge as well.
And let's talk about data. I mean, if you're moving from one cloud setup to another, you've got to move that data, right? Is that, I think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, moving data is expensive. Storing data effectively is expensive. And then there are the unique security challenges. And this is one of the reasons why there isn't a more sort of one-size-fits-all infrastructure for doing AI, because different applications have got different data needs. So I know of companies where their valuable IP is actually a very short number or code. And so trying to secure that IP and make sure that it doesn't leak out accidentally in an error message or some other security breach is incredibly difficult.
Okay.
And very different from securing a very large amount of data, where at least you've got sort of velocity on your side. But then storing large amounts of data is very challenging. It's common now to use containerization in AI, because that gives you encapsulation with the data with the functionality that you need. So you might use a technology such as Docker to store, for example, your models with some functionality or technology stack that goes with that. But Docker was never designed to store large container images, and so you can run into a lot of storage issues that can cause you performance problems managing data in that way. So I think the data management has always been a problem in scientific computing, but it's definitely an area where we'll see a lot of innovation, hopefully, in the infrastructure space.
suppose with a lot of data comes a lot of cost as well to store it and manage it. I suppose, is it quite easy for costs to get out of control on that side, do you think?
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely. I think the when designing your compute solution, you don't just have to think about the compute and the cost of compute. You've got to think about location, and you've got to think about your data strategy when moving technology around. So having come from a high performance computing background, I've seen some of the same challenges, in HPC when doing more traditional scientific computing. And a lot of those challenges are coming back in similar shapes or related problems in the AI space.
And are all organisations in the AI space experiencing these problems? I mean, would a startup face similar problems to an established business or an academic institute, for example?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously within a larger organisation, you might have some support around you, but because the challenges around AI infrastructure are often unique to that field, there won't necessarily be others around within a larger organisation to solve those issues. And so new teams within established organisations are often as isolated as new startups or new research groups.
Okay. So do you think that these challenges are going to grow as AI? I mean, AI is sort of scheduled to grow exponentially, use of AI and the sort of solutions available. Will the challenges grow too?
Yeah, I think so, particularly as we scale up computing. So again, having come from a supercomputing background, there are a lot of challenges around managing compute at scale, managing that effectively. The compute needed for traditional HPC is not the same as some of the needs for AI, but some of the challenges are the same when actually running at scale. So I'm optimistic that there will be a lot of innovation in the infrastructure space. The mission at CommonAI is to surround companies with everything they need to be successful. So whether that's tooling, infrastructure, or expertise, that's what we're looking to build together. And some of those solutions will be built by us. Some of those solutions will be built through collaborative engineering in our members' organisation. But some of those solutions will also come from outside of CommonAI and be brought in order to benefit the industry. So I'm excited to see what technologies emerge for managing data and compute together, specifically for AI applications. And of course, being hugely optimistic about the benefits of humanity that come from developments in AI. I mean, what we've seen so far in the last few years has been very exciting, but I think we're just scraping the tip of the iceberg when it comes to what AI is going to do for us. And obviously that brings us in the medium term or kind of longer term to advancements in infrastructure that is supported by and improved by AI itself. So yeah, I'm very excited about what we can do in future to better manage our infrastructure.
Absolutely. And your team, in terms of helping skills shortage as well as the tooling and so on, I mean, your offering is going. You help by providing the fractional experts people need, right, to help get them to that point much more quickly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So when you're just starting out, or even when you're further along in your journey, you want a sort of 10% of an expert in a certain data pipeline or a certain storage technology or compute orchestration technology, and so being able to access that within our ecosystem is a huge advantage.
The whole thing is all about acceleration, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's more about success together.
Yes,
and that's infrastructure is always all about success together.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.